Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With a Spain news update, we'll have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today. We'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. Also, before we get into the news, a big thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's through the new Super Thanks option on YouTube, whether it's my longer term supporters on Patreon. Thank you very much for that. And also a big welcome to new members here on YouTube, people that have joined the channel through the new membership option that I set up a couple of weeks ago. So welcome and thanks for that. Now straight into the news, and there is one story that is dominating the press here today, well, not only here but around the world as well, and it is the Amnesty law and the fact that the government could not get that law passed, could not get that law across the line because various political parties didn't vote for it. Of course, political parties on the right side of politics not happy about that law, didn't vote for it, but another political party surprisingly did not vote for that law. The party controlled by Spain's #1 fugitive, Carles Puigdemont. And as we can read here, Catalan separatists reject amnesty bill, highlighting the fragility of Spain's minority government. Catalan separatist lawmakers dealt Spain's government a blow Tuesday by voting against the hugely divisive amnesty law that was aimed at helping hundreds of their supporters who were involved in Catalonia's unsuccessful 2017 independence bid. The most radical separatists, who want to ensure that their leader Carles Puigdemont, a fugitive in Belgium, can return home, said the proposed law did not go far enough to protect him. The bill must go back to a Parliament commission to be drawn up again within 2 weeks, but it remains to be seen what the government and separatists can do to save it. So the amnesty bill that the government in Spain and those separatist politicians have been working on for the last few months rejected yesterday. And why was it rejected? Well, because the government didn't agree to the demands of those separatist politicians, for example, Mr. Carles Puigdemont. Basically, it's all about Mr. Puigdemont. He wants to be able to come back to Spain and not face criminal charges because, as we know, there are many judges here in Spain that do not like Mr. Puigdemont and want to see him behind bars. They've been trying to get him behind bars since that failed referendum in 2017, but he's proven to be a very slippery fish indeed. But the failed amnesty law wasn't the only thing that went on yesterday in the Spanish parliament, because after this law was rejected, the Spanish justice system came under attack in a big way. And as we can read here, the 12 attacks on prevaricating and Francoist judges by Sanchez's partners in Congress. During the debate on the amnesty law, the parliamentary partners of Pedro Sanchez, including Sumar, with whom he shares the coalition government, mentioned the names of judges Manuel García Castellón, Joaquín Aguirre, and Manuel Marchena 12 times. They did this to harshly criticize from the Speaker's platform the actions of these three judges connected to the various legal cases related to the failed referendum on October the 1st. The judges were even accused of malfeasance. The president of the lower house, Francina Armengol, did not reprimand the MPs who voiced these criticisms at any point. So 3 Spanish judges under attack yesterday by not only those separatist politicians, but by also government partner Sumar. And basically they accused those judges of having a political agenda and being manipulated by the Partido Popular. And funnily enough, these are the 3 judges that are trying to get Mr. Puigdemont to face the justice system in Spain. Now, some good news and related to the Spanish economy, which in 2023 grew beyond expectations. As we can read here, the Spanish economy resists the external slowdown and grows by 2.5% in 2023, driven by private consumption. The Spanish economy continues to show strength even as the Eurozone experiences stagnation. In the fourth quarter of 2023, Spain's gross domestic product grew by 0.6%, which is 0.2 more than the previous quarter. This growth was driven by a strong labour market that boosted private consumption and by the resilience of exports amidst international uncertainty. As a result, the economy ended the year with a growth of 2.5%, according to preliminary data released by the National Institute of Statistics. This marks the 3rd consecutive year of annual GDP growth for Spain, following the historic drop in 2020 due to COVID-19. However, the growth in 2023 reflects a global slowdown due to rising prices and the measures to contain them. Specifically, this indicator has more than halved compared to 2022, when it closed at 5.8%, and even more so compared to 2021, with a growth of 6.4%. So there we go, 3 consecutive years of GDP growth here in Spain. A round of applause for the government. And more importantly, as we saw there, the Spanish economy resisting the external slowdown. So we'll see how 2024 shapes up as far as GDP here in Spain is concerned. Now, the next piece of news, and related to the King and Queen of Spain, King Felipe and Queen Letizia, and it is that they are to be photographed by Annie Leibovitz. Sources close to the Bank of Spain have told this newspaper that Annie Leibovitz, considered the most important and highest paid living photographer in the world, will arrive in Madrid in the coming days. She will take portraits of the King and Queen of Spain, which will then become part of the collection of the Bank of Spain. This is not the first time the artist, the regular contributor to Vogue and Vanity Fair and known for her celebrity portraits, has photographed a monarch. In 2007, Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom asked her to take official photos of her state visit to the United States, marking the 400th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in North America. So Annie Leibovitz heading to Spain in the next couple of days. According to that newspaper, the highest paid photographer in the world is Ms. Leibovitz, and heading to Spain to photograph the royal couple, King Felipe and Queen Letizia. And I asked myself the question, is there not a local photographer who could do the job just as well as Ms. Leibovitz and probably charge half the amount? Don't know, just putting it out there. And the final piece of news we'll look at today about Spain's most notorious seaside resort, the resort of Magaluf in the Balearic Islands, on the island of Mallorca to be exact, and apparently it's trying to rebrand itself. And as we can read here, famous seaside town in Spain to get £3.4 million rebrand to get better class of British tourist. A hotel that has been part of the iconic Magaluf skyline for 6 decades is set to be demolished as the resort town pushes on with its efforts to change its reputation. Hotel Taish, which spans 2,500 square meters across the Spanish city, is to be torn down and replaced by local authorities with an open area aimed at enhancing urban facilities. This is seen as a key step towards realizing the new Magaluf wanted by the Calvia municipality, of which the resort town is part, and forever ditch its image of a party holiday destination for drunken lads. The local administration aims to transform Magaluf's party-centric reputation, which earned it the unwanted nickname of Shagaluf, and make the town an attractive prospect for family holidays. So there we go, the town of Magaluf in the Balearic Islands trying to rebrand, trying to change its reputation, a bad reputation the town has had for many, many years, and this is a rebranding that has been going on for the last decade or so. It wants to get rid of that drunken lad culture, that drunken yobbo, as we say in Australia, culture, and also try to get rid of some of the nicknames that it has been branded with over the years, for example, Shagaluf. And if you're watching this video in North America and you're not familiar with the word shag, look it up on Urban Dictionary. So good luck with the rebranding, Magaluf. I hope it goes well. Now let's have a look at some of the comments that have been left on videos recently. One here from Stephen, 179 no's versus 171 yes. Very, very close, but common sense went ahead. Amnesty to terrorists, separatists, and traitors to the nation has no place in a democratic Spain. My personal opinion. Yes, Stephen, thanks for the comment and thanks for your personal opinion. And I reckon that your personal opinion would be very popular in this part of Spain, central Spain, with the majority of people here. Perhaps not so popular in some parts of Catalonia or the Basque Country, but in the rest of the country, the majority of the country, I think a lot of people would agree with you that all of this has no place in a democratic Spain. So thanks, Stephen, for your opinion. One here from Yanasi, I haven't smoked for 50 years, but I believe it should be legal. It should be regulated by the agricultural department to make sure there's no poisons or toxins and to collect taxes. I actually think it is better than alcohol, and yes, I enjoy a gin and tonic to relax. Yeah, Yanisi, thanks for the comment and referring to an article that we saw the other day about marijuana in Spain, all of the illegal marijuana crops that are being grown around the country, and the fact that marijuana here is not legal and there's no talk about legalizing it from any of the major political parties. We saw in yesterday's live stream some of the main reasons why the big political parties won't touch it. But basically it's because some influential doctors here believe that Spain as a society would be worse off if cannabis became legal, especially when it comes to mental health issues, for example, schizophrenia. So that's one of the main reasons against legalizing cannabis here in Spain. So for the time being, and perhaps a long time going forward, cannabis will remain illegal in this country and in the hands of mafias and drug dealers. One here from Todd: I'm with you on all this best stuff. I've had enough jingoism here in the States. I had a girlfriend who said everything is political, but for CS, let me like my cheese and wine for what they are. Cheese and wine. Yeah, Todd, thanks for the comment, and this is something that popped up in yesterday's live stream. I had a bit of a rant yesterday saying that I don't like to hear the word best being thrown around by everyone all the time. This is the best cheese, this is the best wine, this is the best this is the best that. I get sick of hearing the word best. And here in Spain, you hear the word best getting thrown around all the time. The word for best in Spanish is mejor, el mejor or la mejor, depending on what you are talking about. For example, el mejor jamón es de España, el mejor chorizo es de mi pueblo, la mejor tortilla es de mi madre, for example. And I agree that those things are probably pretty good, but are they the best? Don't think so. One here from Patrick: if you ask a Spaniard who cooks the best tortilla, they will say their grandmother. So like you say, it comes down to your preference, what you like. Yeah, Patrick, thanks for the comment, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. La mejor tortilla es de mi abuela, or de mi madre, or de mi tía. And let's be honest, I've tried some people's grandmother's tortilla, and believe me, it wasn't the best. But that's just my opinion. One here from James: the problem with the current French farmer protests is that they have currently almost closed the French road system with hundreds of roadblocks on most main routes. This means for Spain that there is currently no land routes for goods to France or the rest of Europe. Spain is barricaded in essentially right now. Yeah, James, thanks for the comment, and that is exactly the situation at the moment regarding this farmers' war that is taking place in the European Union. French farmers up in arms, German farmers up in arms, and as you mentioned there, the French farmers blocking the border, not allowing Spanish produce to enter France, and Spain effectively barricaded in, as you put it there. And to top it all off, Spanish farmers have also announced that they're going to start protests sometime soon. So farmers around the EU apparently not happy with European Union farming rules and regulations. And we'll see if politicians in Brussels can sort this one out quickly, because the last thing we want are shortages on supermarket shelves. And the final comment here from Brainwasher: here in Southern California, you can also ski in the morning and go surfing in the afternoon. Big Bear to Huntington Beach is about 100 miles. Not easy, but doable. Yeah, Brainwasher, thanks for the comment, and this is a discussion that we have been having on the channel in recent times, because the other day somebody said that they were planning on moving to Granada, asking about what Granada is like, and lots of people saying that Granada is a fantastic province here in Spain, and one of the key aspects of Granada is that you can hit the slopes in the morning and hit the beach in the afternoon, but you also saying that you can do that in California, around 100 miles from the mountains to the beach, and I think in Granada it's around 60 kilometers. But one of the big differences, I'd say, between California and Granada is the cultural aspect and historical aspect that the city and province of Granada has, and I think that would be an advantage over California, but that's just my opinion. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, if you have an opinion on any of the topics that I have spoken about, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.